Your eye doctor looks at your scan, nods slowly, and says the same two words every single time. Age-related. And you walk out of that office thinking there is absolutely nothing you can do. That is not true. And today I'm going to prove it to you. I'm Dr. Gregory Holt. I've spent over 15 years studying how nutrition affects the aging eye, specifically what happens inside the lens and retina after 60, when most of the real damage quietly begins. What I'm going to show you today are 5 nutrients that your eyes are actively running out of right now. Not 5 general wellness tips. 5 specific compounds that published research has directly linked to the 2 biggest threats to your vision after 60, cataracts and macular degeneration. I've ranked them from least to most critical, and I need to warn you about number 2 right now. Almost everyone getting this nutrient is getting a version their body can barely use. Stay with me. Everything I share here is educational. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice. If you're experiencing vision changes, please see a licensed eye care provider. Your eyes deserve that level of care. 1. Zinc, the forgotten gatekeeper. Score, 4 out of 10. Most people have never heard of the retinal pigment epithelium. It sounds complicated. It isn't. Think of it as the floor beneath your retina. It's a single thin layer of cells that does 4 jobs simultaneously. It feeds your photoreceptors, clears their waste, absorbs stray light, and, most importantly, it moves vitamin A from your bloodstream directly into your vision system. Here's the problem. That entire process is run by zinc-dependent enzymes. Without adequate zinc, vitamin A cannot be activated inside your eye, no matter how many carrots you eat. And after 60, your body's ability to absorb zinc from food drops significantly. Your gut wall becomes less efficient. Competing minerals block absorption, and the standard Western diet is genuinely low in bioavailable zinc to begin with. The ARDS-2 study, the largest government-funded clinical trial ever conducted on eye nutrition, included zinc specifically because researchers already had compelling evidence linking low zinc status to accelerated macular degeneration progression. Your best food sources, raw oysters, which have more zinc per serving than almost anything else on Earth. Beef, pumpkin seeds soaked overnight to break down the phytic acid, and fortified cereals if you're vegetarian. One important note, zinc and copper compete for absorption. If you are supplementing zinc, you must pair it with a small amount of copper, typically 2 milligrams for every 25 milligrams of zinc. This is non-negotiable. Get it wrong, and you create a new deficiency. Zinc is a foundation. Everything built above it is more powerful. But without this foundation in place, the nutrients higher on this list underperform. Stay with me. Number 4 is the one that most people over 60 are almost completely deficient in, and most doctors never test for it. 2. Vitamin C, the recycler your lens depends on. Score, 5.5 out of 10. Here is a fact that should genuinely surprise you. Your eye contains one of the highest concentrations of vitamin C found anywhere in the human body. Not your blood, not your brain, your eye. Specifically, the aqueous humor, the clear fluid inside your eye, maintains vitamin C levels up to 50 times higher than what's circulating in your bloodstream. Your body is doing that on purpose. Think of vitamin C inside your eye as a fire suppression system. Every minute, free radicals hit the proteins inside your lens. Vitamin C intercepts them. It sacrifices itself to protect those proteins. But here is the mechanism that makes this extraordinary. When a vitamin E molecule inside your lens neutralizes a free radical, which is vitamin E's entire job, that vitamin E molecule becomes oxidized, spent. Normally, it is done. Vitamin C reaches in and regenerates it, reduces it back to its active form. One molecule of vitamin E, recycled over and over, kept working for hours. That recycling system is one of the primary reasons your lens stays clear at all. Now here's the breakdown point after 60. A physical barrier starts forming around the center of your lens, the nucleus, and it cuts off nutrient supply to the core, including vitamin C. Researchers published this finding in Investigative Ophthalmology and Visual Science, and the implications are direct. As that barrier thickens, your lens nucleus starts losing its antioxidant protection from the inside out. A meta-analysis of 9 cohort studies and over 150,000 participants found that higher dietary vitamin C intake was significantly associated with reduced risk of cataract progression. Your best source is not orange juice. Orange juice has sugar and often sits in processing for months before it reaches you. Kiwi fruit has more vitamin C per gram than oranges, and a fresh bell pepper, a single half, gives you more vitamin C than most supplements. Eat it fresh. Heat degrades it. Get it from food before you consider supplements. And if you supplement, go with buffered vitamin C. It's gentler on the stomach and absorbs better in older adults. Vitamin C is a recycler and a protector, but it is not the compound doing the deepest structural work. That comes next. 3. Lutein and zeaxanthin. What your macula is actually made of. Score 7 out of 10. Your macula is yellow. If you've ever seen a retinal photograph, there's a small yellowish oval near the center. That yellow color comes from one source and one source only. Lutein and zeaxanthin that your body has deliberately deposited there. Your eye does not randomly accumulate these pigments. It actively concentrates them. There are specific transport proteins in your retinal tissue whose only job is to pull lutein and zeaxanthin out of your blood and stack them directly in the macular layer. Why? Because the macula handles your central vision, reading, faces, driving, everything you look at directly. And the central macula is bombarded by the highest energy, most damaging wavelengths of visible light, blue light, every single day. Lutein and zeaxanthin physically absorb that blue light before it reaches the photoreceptor cells beneath. They're not just antioxidants. They are a built-in optical filter. The ARDS2 trial, again, the gold standard in this field, confirmed that supplementing with 10 milligrams of lutein and 2 milligrams of zeaxanthin significantly reduced the risk of advanced macular degeneration in people already at moderate risk. Now here's what most people don't know, and it matters enormously if you've been eating spinach or kale and assuming you're covered. Lutein is fat-soluble. If you eat a spinach salad with no fat, you absorb a fraction of what you consumed. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that adding avocado to a salad increased lutein absorption by over 400% compared to eating the same salad without fat. Not 40%, for 100%. The fat matrix from avocado, specifically its oleic acid content, dramatically improves the absorption of fat-soluble compounds like lutein. This is not optional. This is the biology. Best food sources: cooked dark leafy greens, eggs with a deep orange yolk, and corn. Eggs may actually be the most bioavailable source of zeaxanthin per serving. And stay with me, because the nutrient at number 1 on this list is the one that almost every person over 60 is deficient in, and it doesn't just affect your eyes. It affects whether the entire system works. 4. Omega-3 fatty acids, the structural material you're running low on. Score 8 out of 10. This is the nutrient I'm going to spend extra time on, because the average person gets this so badly wrong that they might as well not be trying. Your retina is neural tissue. It is wired like your brain, same cell type, same vulnerabilities. And those neural cells are built from a very specific fat called DHA, not partially built from it. The structural membrane of every photoreceptor in your retina contains extremely high concentrations of DHA. When DHA is chronically low, cell membranes weaken. Signal transmission between photoreceptors slows. The integrity of your retinal layers erodes quietly, invisibly, without any symptoms until the damage is already significant. Here is the mistake most people make. They eat chia seeds, flaxseed, or walnuts, and they believe they are getting omega-3s for their eyes. They are getting ALA, alpha-linolenic acid, which is a plant form omega-3 that your body theoretically converts to DHA. The conversion rate in adults over 50 is between 0 and 4%. 0 to 4%. You cannot eat your way to adequate retinal DHA on plant sources alone after 60. Your conversion machinery is simply not efficient enough. This is why large meta-analyses on omega-3 and dry eye disease specifically show benefit from DHA and EPA, the marine form omega-3, not from ALA supplementation alone. A meta-analysis published in Cornea reviewing 17 randomized controlled trials found that omega-3 supplementation significantly improved both tear film stability and dry eye symptom scores. Your best food sources: fatty fish, Wild-caught salmon, sardines, mackerel, anchovies. 2 to 3 servings per week is a meaningful dose. If you don't eat fish, you need algae-based DHA, not flaxseed oil. Algae is where the fish get it in the first place. Skip the middleman. Algae-derived DHA is now widely available, appropriate for vegetarians, and delivers the same form of omega-3 your retina actually uses. One specific warning: do not take fish oil and then cook with it, blend it hot, or leave it in a warm car. Omega-3 fats oxidize rapidly when exposed to heat, light, or air. An oxidized omega-3 supplement may cause more harm than taking nothing. Store it in the refrigerator, buy in small quantities, and check the smell. Fresh omega-3 oil smells like the ocean, not like a fish market. 5. Vitamin D, the one your doctor isn't checking. Score: 9.5 out of 10. Let me give you a number. Roughly 41% of American adults are vitamin D deficient. Among adults over 65, that figure climbs significantly higher. And among people who spend most of their time indoors, which describes a large portion of people over 60, deficiency is the default, not the exception. Here's why this matters for your eyes specifically, and it is not the reason most people expect. Vitamin D is not a vitamin. It behaves like a hormone, and its receptors are found in virtually every tissue in your body, including your retinal ganglion cells, your retinal pigment epithelium, and the ciliary body that controls the shape of your lens during focusing. Vitamin D deficiency creates 2 specific problems in the aging eye. First, it upregulates inflammatory pathways. The same chronic low-grade inflammation that drives cardiovascular disease, arthritis, and cognitive decline also accelerates retinal degeneration. Vitamin D is one of the primary regulators that keeps that inflammatory signaling in check. Without adequate levels, the protective system runs below capacity constantly. Second, and this is less well known, vitamin D plays a direct role in regulating angiogenesis, the growth of new blood vessels. In wet macular degeneration, the catastrophic form that causes rapid central vision loss, abnormal blood vessels invade the retina. Researchers investigating the biology of vitamin D found that it inhibits the exact vascular endothelial growth factor signaling that drives that abnormal vessel growth. A 2022 meta-analysis found that lower blood levels of vitamin D were significantly associated with increased prevalence of age-related macular degeneration. Now here is what your doctor probably isn't telling you. The standard reference range for vitamin D adequacy, typically listed as above 20 nanograms per milliliter, is a threshold for bone disease. It is not a threshold for optimal neurological, immune, or ocular function. Many researchers in this field consider levels between 40 and 60 nanograms per milliliter to be the functional target. Most people testing sufficient by the standard range are nowhere near that. The only way to know your level is to test it. Ask for a 25-hydroxyvitamin D blood test at your next checkup. It is inexpensive and widely available. Food sources of vitamin D are limited. Fatty fish provide some. Egg yolks, liver, and fortified foods contribute modest amounts. For most people over 60, especially those living in northern latitudes or spending limited time outdoors, a supplement of 1,000 to 2,000 IU daily under medical supervision is the realistic path to adequate levels. Pair vitamin D with vitamin K2. D3 moves calcium into your bloodstream. K2 directs it into bone rather than soft tissue. They work together. You want both. To bring it all together quickly, zinc runs the enzymes that activate vitamin A in your retina. Vitamin C recycles vitamin E inside your lens and intercepts oxidative damage. Lutein and zeaxanthin are the physical filter protecting your macula from high-energy blue light. Absorb them with fat. Omega-3 DHA is the structural material your retinal cells are built from. Get it from fish or algae, not plants. And vitamin D is the hormonal regulator keeping your retinal inflammation system in check. Most people over 60 are low, and most don't know it. None of these is optional. They work as a system. If this changed the way you think about your vision, hit that subscribe button right now. Every week, I break down the research that your eye doctor simply doesn't have time to explain. And if you found this useful, drop a comment below and tell me, which of these 5 nutrients surprised you the most? I read every single one. Take care of those eyes, and I'll see you in the next video.